Can Tai Tuivasa really make a comeback? Tai was one of the hottest prospects in the UFC at one point in time. Now he's on a 7-fight losing streak after his most recent loss to Louis Sutherland. There's a lot of people saying he should retire or he should be cut from the UFC altogether, but I think he has a chance to get a few more wins before he rides off into the sunset and possibly even return to the top 15. If you remember, at one point, Tai Tuivasa was one of the hottest prospects in the heavyweight division. He was known for knocking people out and immediately doing a shoey, and he became a fan favorite very quickly. He bursted onto the scene in 2017 and got an incredible KO in his debut. He got a KO in his second fight, and in his third fight he would go 3 rounds with Andrei Arlovski and win. After this, he went on a pretty big skid, a 3-fight losing streak. A lot of people thought he was finished, but after this he would go on an insane 5-fight winning streak where he won them all by knockout. He even knocked out Derek Lewis, who at the time was one of the most feared fighters in the division. This put Tai Tuivasa in a position where he fought Cyril Gane, and unfortunately lost. But it's important to know that this fight got Cyril Gane a title shot against Jon Jones. That is how important and how high-ranked Tai Tuivasa was at one point in time. And if Tai would have won that fight against Cyril Gane, he would have fought Jon Jones for a title. And he almost did. He had gone hurt badly when they fought. Unfortunately, he still lost. But after his fight with Cyril, he would lose 6 more fights in a row. And most of these came from Tai Tuivasa getting taken down and not being able to get back up. Or he would get submitted. His worst fight in his loss streak had to come from Talison Teixeira, where he was essentially held down the entire fight. Tai, in the lead up to his most recent fight with Louis Sutherland, talked about how hard he worked to reinvent himself as a fighter. Unfortunately for Tai, in his most recent fight with Louis Sutherland, he was dominated with the wrestling. But something that I don't see people talking about is how much improvement Tai showed in that fight. He didn't just accept bottom position on the ground, he actively tried to get up. He worked his way back to his feet a time or two. He scrambled in that one fight more than he had ever in his entire career. And he defended the takedowns much better than he had in the past, even though he still got taken down. Tai we seen in his most recent fight was the best version of him that we have seen in a long time. And if Tai Tuivasa shows the same amount of improvement he has shown in his most recent fight and his next fight, I think things will go drastically differently. But this is just my fair criticism of Tai now. Although he has showed major improvements in this fight, I think he should be much better at these bad positions that he's been put in essentially for his last 5 fights. I'm not sure who is coaching Tai right now to get out of these bad positions, but if he really wants to come back, and I think he does, he needs to get better at getting up and defending takedowns, and possibly switch teams. And keep in mind, I'm not knocking his team. I know his team has some incredible fighters on it, and some phenomenal coaches. But I think Tai needs to do what's best for himself, because what he has been doing, unfortunately, hasn't been working. And I only say that because I do care. If he doesn't improve in these positions, he's probably going to get dominated for 1 or 2 more fights before the UFC cuts him, even though he still might be popular. And I do think Tai is trying to get better. And I do definitely think he's going to have another fight, because he himself on social media essentially said he was going back to the drawing board, and he said he was very sorry for disappointing the fans. And I don't think you say something like that unless you actually care. I truly do think he tried his best. We've seen him improve in his most recent fight, and that's definitely satisfying in a way. And I hope Tai Tuivasa could continue to show that improvement in his wrestling defense and in his ability to get back up, because I do think we could see him at the top 15 again. The man at one point in time was 1 win away from fighting for the title, using only his ability to strike. If Tai Tuivasa develops a wrestling game right now where people cannot take him down or he can't be held on the ground the way he is now, he'll dominate the division. He'll return to that dude who was knocking people out and doing shoeys. I've been watching the sport for nearly 10 years now. I've seen Tai Tuivasa enter the UFC. I've seen him at his peak, and I have watched a man that I am a huge fan of lose 7 fights in a row. And that sucks. It reminds me very similar to Tony Ferguson, but with Tai, it's more getting wrestled rather than knocked unconscious every single fight. But what do you think? Do you think it's too late for Tai Tuivasa to make a comeback? Do you think he has a chance to make a comeback? Do you think he has improved since his last fights? Let me know down in the comment section below. Anyways, I love all of you. I hope to see you back here in the next one. Peace out, have a good one, and well, bye-bye.